If you just watched my previous video, you already know what I'm about to do. But if you didn't, and this is the first time you're on my little channel here, this is a bowie that I did out of repurposed steel. And I'm about to make a guard for it. I'm going to do a D-guard. Now, I have not quenched the blade yet, so it won't hurt it touching this when it's hot, because this ain't been heat treated, so it's fine. Now, what I'm about to use is wrought iron. This is old. Dug this up out of the ground, and it's probably for a piece of my farming, mule-drawn plow equipment, but this is pretty simple. This is something I can make, so I'm not worried about getting rid of it. Cool little thing I'd like to point out though. Look at that right here. Somebody punched this hole. Probably my great-granddaddy or my great-great-granddaddy. And that's okay, because I'm going to save this piece, because if you look right here, for any of you that may want to do blacksmithing and use old iron like this, that right there, I don't know if it's considered a bolt or a nail or what it is, but that is a hollow spot. If you heat this up, this right here, that little slug's about to fall right on out. So, I'm going to cut it right there where that little spot is, and then that'll give me this much to do my actual guard. There's a hole in the other end as well. I might just leave that in there. I don't know. I'm about to throw it in the fire and heat it up. We'll figure it out. So, I'll show you. Now that I have a good established line, I will get it a lot hotter. I'm going to cut it off. It's called a hot cut. Where you get it hot, and you cut it. Now that is a good color of orange. That's what you want to see. Yeehaw! Not today, my friend. You will not burn me down today. Alright, now look. Ooh. Alright, now let me show y'all what I was talking about. Now look. See right there? That is a hollow spot. So that wouldn't look very pretty in my guard. So if I wanted to, I could take a punch and knock it out, and then I'll have basically a shorter piece of what I started off with, because here is the rest. See, chopped it off. About to cut it again. Ooh-wee! Got that sucker hot that time. just kind of flared it out a little bit. good. And for the most part, this is all forwards, but there's a few places down here I'm about to hit it with a hot file for a second. And by hot file, I mean my grinder. Just to clean it up, make it look a little pretty. I mean, bare minimum grinding, just took off a little bit of scale, a little bit extra skin, took it right off of there. And that's it. The rest of that is forward. Now the blade's gonna sit right there, about middle way. That means I need to start right about here. So the reason I'm doing this is so that I can get this long enough to do the full D and come back under my hand. Because the way that it's set, it'd be close, but I don't want to bend it and then have to bend it back, because this is wrought iron. And if you're going to work with wrought iron, which I do a lot, try to bend it as few times as possible, because it'll just fall to pieces. Alright? So, you're welcome. We almost there, folks. I like the little ridge it's giving it, because it looks wide, but then it's not. It's got a whole little belly that goes right down through it. I guess that'd be good, because if you were in a battle with that, the red stuff could just flow right down the middle right there. Keep your hand dry. Ah, party foul. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw it out until I got about yay much left. So just probably one, maybe two more heats. That way that it's still wide at the bottom where it'll attach to the handle, so it's good and like flush. Because I don't want my handle to be real skinny like this. I want the bottom of my handle to be a little fat. So it's got a little weight at the end, you know, balance. Alright, I'm going to stop it there, and now I'm going to give it its bend, give it its signature shape. So I'm using my vise to kind of bend it. That looks good. That is where I'm going to do my bend. Now I'm going to bend it. Sorry. I'm going to bend it because it kind of rounds. I don't want to do straight up and down because you need your room for your fingers. So literally going to make it look like a capital D. And then it needs to line back up with about right here. there. Hot enough to get any of the little mess ups out. Not very many, but enough. Alright, so I got my shape. That looks pretty daggone good. Now I'm gonna stick it back in one more time and get this bottom part where I want it to be. The thing about Wrought is it kind of comes off in little layers like sunburns. I'm just knocking a little bit of that stuff off of here. Because it makes it look kind of cruddy. Now my coal was not very nice. It had a lot of clinkers, so I had to keep an eye on it the whole time. Because they tried to get her, but I stuck with it. Alright, that looks good right there. Hot enough to get any of the little mess ups out. Not very many, but enough. Alright, so I got my shape. That looks pretty daggone good. Now I'm gonna stick it back in one more time and get this bottom part where I want it to be. The thing about Wrought is it kind of comes off in little layers like sunburns. I'm just knocking a little bit of that stuff off of here. Because it makes it look kind of cruddy. Now my coal was not very nice. It had a lot of clinkers, so I had to keep an eye on it the whole time. Because they tried to get her, but I stuck with it. Actually, no. Just needs to line up a little bit. I think I need to heat it right in this area. I need to heat it right here. Alright, so here it is. Alright, well here it is, y'all. And then this right here will go right here. I have a few slight adjustments to make. I'll probably do it with a hot file. I'm pretty happy with myself. That is not a super easy thing to do, and I've only done one D-guard before. So anyways, thank you for watching. If you just watch this whole process and you have any questions, feel free to drop them below. If you want to see more of my work, pictures, or short videos, you can find me on Instagram under the Old Town Blacksmith, and on TikTok under the Old Town Blacksmith. Y'all have a great day. Subscribe if you stayed this long. You're basically family now. Y'all have a good one.